Agentic FinOps governance is about more than controlling spend. It defines the rules, roles, and lifecycle controls that keep AI systems cost-aware, reliable, secure, compliant, and accountable, so automation can scale without losing business trust. So far, we've built the pieces: what agentic AI changes for FinOps, how costs and value appear, how quality is measured, and how optimization controls work. Now we connect those pieces into governance, the policies, roles, controls, and decision rights that make responsible scaling possible. Agentic FinOps changes the governance problem. When agents choose tools, retry tasks, route work, or generate tokens, they can shift cost, latency, quality, and risk in real time. Traditional cloud policies were not designed for that level of variability. A governance framework creates guardrails by clarifying what must be controlled, who owns each decision, and how compliance is proven, so teams can innovate without losing accountability. Good agentic FinOps governance is a balancing system, not a cost-cutting program. Cost control still matters. Tokens, model choice, infrastructure, vendors, and hidden operational effort all need visibility. But cheaper is not better if accuracy drops or users lose trust. Quality assurance keeps agents safe, useful, and effective. Risk management adds guardrails for privacy, security, legal exposure, and misuse. Business value then asks the most important question: what measurable outcome did the agent create? The goal is to optimize across all four, reducing waste without weakening reliability, safety, or impact. Policies work best when they are organized by domain, not scattered across teams. Start with financial boundaries, budgets, usage limits, model access, and escalation rules. Then protect the inputs through data classification, approved prompt patterns, and restrictions on sensitive information. Next, control change by requiring agents to meet evaluation standards and deployment approvals before they act in production. After release, governance continues through monitoring, alerts, audit trails, and compliance checks. Together, these controls give every agent clear limits before, during, and after operation. Budget controls are the financial guardrails for AI operations. They answer three practical questions: where can spend happen, how much is acceptable, and who responds when usage changes. Strong policies operate at several levels, from teams and products down to agents, workflows, and customers. They also measure cost in business terms, not only infrastructure terms: daily and monthly spend, cost per task, cost per user, and cost per successful outcome. When spending spikes or crosses a threshold, ownership should be clear, with escalation, approvals, or emergency exceptions tied back to chargeback, forecasting, and unit economics. Model governance is not only about whether a model works. It defines who may use it, for what purpose, and under what controls. Low-risk experimentation can use cheaper, more flexible models. Production and regulated workflows need approved tiers, stronger monitoring, and sometimes explicit approval. Premium reasoning models should require justification when a lower-cost option meets the quality bar. Routing rules matter as well. Without them, agents may escalate automatically to expensive or externally hosted models. Good governance keeps model selection aligned with task risk, compliance needs, and budget. Agentic prompts are not static text. They are assembled from user input, retrieved content, memory, and tool results, so governance has to control the ingredients before the model ever responds. Start by classifying data, then map each class to approved models, regions, retention periods, and logging rules. Sensitive content needs safeguards across prompts, memory, tool calls, and observability traces. Prompts also need lifecycle control: review, versioning, ownership, and standards for safety, transparency, grounding, and prohibited behavior. Treat prompts as governed assets, not informal configuration. Evaluation requirements turn an agent release into an evidence-based decision. Before deployment, teams test accuracy, safety, robustness, latency, and cost against a representative evaluation set. Results are compared to clear thresholds, such as task success, hallucination rate, refusal quality, and cost per successful outcome. Quality gates then decide whether the agent ships, needs remediation, or requires exception approval. Regression testing is critical, because a better prompt model, retrieval source, or tool can still break existing behavior. For regulated, customer-facing, or high financial impact agents, the bar should be higher, and monitoring must continue after release. Deployment governance brings that evidence into the release process. A prototype may need lightweight approval, while customer-facing or regulated agents need stronger proof and senior review. Before production, teams should confirm quality, estimate cost, validate data classification, and document rollback options. If a gate fails, the release stops or returns for remediation. When approval is granted, progressive delivery reduces blast radius through staged rollout, canaries, feature flags, and kill switches. Every release record should connect the exact version, prompts, model, datasets, tools, and approvals. Governance does not stop when an agent goes live. In production, behavior changes. Users ask new things, tools fail, costs spike, models drift, and external risks evolve. Continuous compliance means watching the operating system around the agent, not just the model. Track cost, quality, latency, reliability, safety, tool use, and policy violations. Set thresholds that trigger action when spend, errors, drift, or repeated loops move outside tolerance. Give each stakeholder the view they need, from application owners to finance and security. Preserve audit trails as well, so prompts, calls, tool actions, user interactions, and policy decisions can be reconstructed later. Clear ownership keeps governance from becoming a bottleneck. FinOps should not become the team that approves every AI decision. Instead, it anchors the financial operating model: allocation, reporting, forecasting, unit economics, and optimization rules. The AI platform team owns technical guardrails, including approved models, tooling, observability, and deployment standards. Application and product owners are accountable for business value, quality, user experience, and runtime outcomes. Security, legal, finance, and executives set boundaries for risk, compliance, budgets, and priorities. The goal is a shared operating model where decisions move quickly because accountability is already clear. Decision authority needs the same clarity. Teams should know who can approve a model, spend beyond budget, allow sensitive data use, declare deployment readiness, or grant a policy waiver. They also need a path when trade-offs collide: cost versus quality, speed versus security, innovation versus compliance. The point is not to slow decisions. It is to route them to the right level. Review boards and councils provide judgment. Ownership records, approvals, audit logs, and incident reviews preserve accountability after the decision is made. This is how governance becomes clear, repeatable, defensible, and less dependent on personalities. Governance should follow an agent through its entire life, not appear only at launch. During experimentation, controls focus on sandbox access, data use, prototype budgets, and safe model testing. Before deployment, the emphasis shifts to evidence: quality gates, risk reviews, cost forecasts, approvals, and release controls. Once in production, governance becomes continuous monitoring of behavior, spend, drift, incidents, and cost versus quality trade-offs. Retirement is governed too. Unused agents need access revoked, records archived, stale prompts removed, and budget allocations closed. The main takeaway is that Agentic FinOps needs governance to scale. Strong frameworks balance cost, quality, risk, and business value while defining policies for budgets, model access, data, prompts, evaluations, approvals, and monitoring. Just as important are clear roles and lifecycle controls. Next, we turn these principles into practice with policy as code, automated guardrails, and continuous improvement.